Hi, Patrick here from Half Cheetah Will View. Happy Catter Day, everybody. It is a very cold and snowy day here in southeastern Michigan. As such, the cheetah is sleeping underneath the blanket, and he has actually been there for over 4 hours. He is very, very happy. So today, I thought I'd do another review. Um, I was watching a movie that my friend Romy had left me, and the movie I picked out to watch is 2014's The Virginian. This starred Trace Adkins, Ron Perlman, and the lovely Victoria Pratt. This came out in 2014. The reason why I only have the disc is because my buddy didn't have room for all the cases of all the thousands of movies that he had, so that's how I get his movies, just with the disc. So I did not, there was a TV show that premiered in 1962 called The Virginian. It ran for 9 years, starred James Drury and Doug McClure, and the show's beloved. It's one of the best westerns, and actually probably easily one of the top 5 themes. Maybe not only in westerns, but definitely maybe in all TV. I mean, as soon as you hear it, you know it. It's a pretty iconic score, actually. So when I saw this film, The Virginian, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, you can name your movie however you want. I didn't know if this is like I didn't know if it was a movie based on the series. I didn't know anything about it. I'm blind. So I watched it, and I have mixed feelings, and I'll walk over them with you. Let me tell you about the story first. The story is a story. Trace Adkins plays the Virginian, and he has a name. His name is South, and he was an orphan. His father was murdered, and he was taken in and raised by the judge, who's played by Judge Henry, which is played by Ron Perlman. Of course, we know Ron Perlman. He's in just about anything that's awesome. Hellboy, Pacific Rim, just Drive, you name it, he's been in it. And he's raised, underneath the guise of Judge Henry, and he pretty much watches. He pretty much is his right hand man, and it's not easy. They live by a rigid code out in the West, and so sometimes we see South being put into really unsavory positions. He meets a young man named Owen Walton who comes in off the stage. Those two actually bond right away, and Brendan Penny or Owen is a newcomer to the West, so he is shockingly brought to how violent it can be when South has to deal with a problem and encounters the sheriff and a potential rustler. And it's the introduction to who South is. He's a good man doing a very hard job. He's also concerned about his town and the town's well-being, and so he has actually petitioned the judge to hire a school teacher to come out and teach the kids. And the school teacher is Molly West, who is played by Victoria Pratt, and she comes out and to come out and to run the school. And then we meet the Virginia's nemesis, and my very first indication that we're going to have some problems with this movie, and that is his nemesis is a gentleman named Trampas, who's played by Steve Basic. So there's been some wrestling going on and whatnot, and South has to investigate it. Owen helps him out. At the same time, there's a slow romance going on between him and Molly, and the gap, the trust and the love between the judge and the Virginian is slowly being driven apart because the judge is changing. The judge is no longer the man of honor and courage that he once betrayed to South. He's not following the code of honor that he taught South, and it causes a big problem between the two men, leading to the showdown. Okay, so when I watched this movie, like I said, I had no idea what it was going to be about. There's no iconic music, no nothing. It was just, you know, as soon as you heard the Virginian and then you heard that he was being raised by the judge, you start thinking, okay, it's gonna be a little bit like the TV show, okay. But when they introduced Trampus, who was one of the main characters in the old TV show, but they indicate him as the bad guy, well, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Uh, I don't know why producers and directors suddenly think it's a good idea to take a beloved property like the Virginian, who has thousands of millions of fans. I like that, thousands of millions. And who remember the show and the characters, and Trampus as being one of the beloved characters, and so is the judge, though in the show it was Judge Garth. Um, but they twisted around to make all the characters from the original show that you drawn upon to make your movie, and you make them bad guys. You've lost half your audience. You've lost it. All those people that came in there to watch this movie expecting to get like a homage or maybe a continuation of the Virginia TV show is going to be very disillusioned here. They're not going to watch it because they have fond memories of who these characters are, and when you turn around and you make them to fit for the new generation, you discolor it for the old show. Maybe this is someone's first indication of the Virginian. Like, okay, I want to see what this is about. I like this movie. I don't know anything about it. This is the first time I've been encountered with the Virginian. But then you find out there's a TV series. You go back there to look at the TV series, and you see it's nothing like the movie you just got done watching. All the characters are flip-flopped. And honestly, I don't think the person who's just watching this movie is going to stay liking this movie. Not compared to the quality and the acting of the first movie. Not to say there wasn't good acting here, but it's just not the same movie. It's just the same series, and that causes a problem for someone like me. I'm an older fan. I know the Virginian TV series. I've loved it. I have good memories of it. And then I watch something like this, and though no fault of its cast, no fault of Trace Adkins and Ron Perlman and Brendan Penny and Victoria Pratt, they're being put in a really bad spot by playing these characters that are nothing. If you're going to call your movie The Virginian and use the same damn names as the TV series, then you have to respect that TV series. You can't sit there and claim to be different. Well, we're different. We're not anything to do with the TV series. Well, then why in the hell are you calling yourself The Virginian? And why are you using the names from the series to get over, to draw the fans in? So I had a real problem with that. It did take me out of the movie. I'll be honest with you. Did I like the movie? Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't called The Virginian, if it was just called South, yeah, it would have been a fine movie. Even with the bad guy being named Trampus, I still would have saw it as a totally original and organic movie on its own and not tied it to the TV series. But they didn't do that. They decided to call themselves a Virginian, so if you're going to use the name, then you got to take the heat that comes with it, as far as I'm concerned. The acting is pretty decent. Trace Adkins, who many of you might know was a country singer, he's now turned to basically an actor, and he does a good job. He's a lot better than you think. I'm sure he's a much better actor now than he was back then. This is one of his earlier efforts. This came out in 2014. One thing that the director and producer did, the director is a gentleman named Thomas Makowski. The one thing I will say that they did was they provided him with a strong supporting cast. Brendan Penny was excellent. As the sidekick, Owen Walton, who has a few secrets of his own. Ron Perlman, of course, Ron. I mean, we watch Ron Perlman read the phone book, right? We watch him. Whatever he could stand on stage and just read the newspaper. We're gonna watch it. Now, Victoria Pratt played Molly West, the school teacher. Now, this was a lot of fun because I have never seen Victoria Pratt play such a gentle character. She has always been a total badass, whether it be in Mutant X or Cleopatra 2525. You name it, she's awesome. Sand Serpents. Mongolian Deathworm. I'm sorry, Mongolian Deathworm. Sorry about that. But and Mutant X, of course. But to see her play a school teacher and was a real twist for us. But she did it. She really enjoyed the role, and yes, she does have a Shalimar moment. Yeah, they could not cast her without having her have a badass moment, and I won't tell you what that is because I don't want to spoil it. But when you see it, you'll go like, yeah, that's the Victoria Pratt we all know and love. The budget wasn't a lot. And I've seen some of these movies by the Nasser Group North, and they pretty much I think they pretty much film pretty much the same sets. So there's some places I recognized, but it doesn't take away anything from the locations. It's beautiful. The guns used are authentic. The costumes are great. It's well done. There's no trucks or cars around. It's not bad. It's not bad. My only problem was they probably should have renamed it something else. I really wish they had. I would be praising this movie a lot more than it did, but by using the Virginian and the names of this TV series for the characters, yeah, not a smart move. Probably would recommend not doing that in the future. All right, that's it. This movie is about 95 minutes long. I would say it's PG-13 for the gun violence. Old West violence. The language is not bad. There's nothing objectionable to that. There's no nudity or anything like that. And here's just a good old independent a Western with some pretty decent actors. All right, that's it for us. If you like what you heard, if you want to offer your opinion about the Virginian, we'd love to hear it. Hit the notification bell or hit the sub button, hit the notification bell, let you know whenever we draw something like this in the future. All right, keep the Western alive. Until the next time, peace.